Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about and demo genv, which is an open source project by RunAI. So what is genv? It's a GPU management tool that you can use to share or reserve GPU resources easily and transparently, and hopefully boost your productivity. So imagine that you are part of a team that shares multiple GPUs on a single machine. And you guys connect to this machine through SSH or VPN or some other method. Some problems that you might encounter include not knowing if GPUs are available, not knowing who is using GPUs, and not knowing when GPUs will be free. Your team probably encounters the same problems. So in order to mitigate these issues, you and your team decide to create a shared spreadsheet for reserving GPUs by time. But this quickly leads to some serious bottlenecks because people overestimate the amount of GPUs they need. They overestimate the amount of time needed for a task. They forget about their reservation time and start working later. And whenever the table shows that all GPUs are being used, then your workflow productivity might come to a halt. And so what genv allows you to do is attach GPUs to specific environments. genv also shows you what GPUs are currently attached to an environment. They show you who attached the environment to, who attached the GPUs to an environment, and they also show you how long a GPU has been attached to an environment. Now let's demonstrate genv. So first, we're going to talk about the monitoring commands. GM devices will show you what GPUs are attached to environments at the moment, and the ems command will allow you to see what GM environments are currently active. You can use the activate and deactivate commands to make or remove GM environments, and you can use the attach and detach command to assign GPUs to those environments. So if I run GM devices, it'll show me that right now no devices are being used. And just to go over my devices, I've got 3 GPUs. I have two 3090s, my first GPU and my last GPU. And I have one 3060, which is the middle GPU. And they correspond to these here. Now, I don't like doing this every time I want to view my devices. So I'm going to use the watch command to get these in real time. And I'll put this over here so I can see it at all times. And here's a hint. So I'm going to do the same thing with the environments. I'm going to go ahead and watch GM environments. Right now, we don't have any environments, so we're not going to see anything. And the way I would create an environment is by using genv activate. And then I'd give it a name. We can call this Mandalore. And we can see that it shows up here. It tells me that I created it, and it tells me that it was created, however long ago. And now if I want to attach a GPU, I would use the genv attach index and one of these here. So let's do 0. And now we see that GPU 0 is attached to the environment Mandalore. Now I can do this and actually attach multiple GPUs, like so. If I wanted to detach a specific GPU, I would use the detach command. And now we see that GPU 1 has been detached. And if I want to detach everything, I would just do GM detach with no index, and it will detach all of them. And once I'm done with the GM environment, I can go ahead and give the GM deactivate command. And it will remove my environment. So now let's go through an example use case inspired by real life events. So we've got 3 data scientists. We have Bo, Django, and Satine. And they've got 3 GPUs on a machine. And it turns out that they have the exact same setup that I've got, 2 3090s and one 3060. Now, Bo wants to use a GPU because she's got this large data set that she has to clean, and she wants to, accelerate that process. Django's got some TensorFlow models for image recognition that he needs to build, and he needs to do this several times. He needs to build several tweaked models. And Satine is actually starting a new project, so she needs to like intermittently test her code and explore the data to make sure it runs. And so they decide to use genv. Let's go ahead and exit here. Here is this is Bo, and she is going to run her. She wants to run her data pipeline on a GPU. So the first thing she's going to do is activate her Conda environment so that she can actually use those tools that she needs. So Conda activate. And once she's activated her Conda environment, she's going to go ahead and activate a GM environment. So GM activate, and she'll call this ETL because that is what she is doing. And we can see this here. And she'll go ahead and attach one GPU. She'll attach GPU 0, one of the more powerful ones. And now we can see that it's here. And now she can go ahead and run her code, Python or make dataset code. And it should appear here once it starts running. One thing that she wants to do is she wants to make the GPU available as soon as this job is done. So that can easily be done by running the genv detach command afterwards. But she also doesn't need the environment anymore, so she wants to get rid of the environment. So she's just going to use the deactivate command, which will detach the GPUs and remove the environment. And now we should see this GPU start to be used. And yep, that's exactly what we see. And we should soon see a file pop up, which means it's working. And now we can do some housekeeping here. And now we're going to move on to Django. And Django's got this model he wants to run, and it's going to be in TensorFlow. So he's going to activate his TensorFlow environment. He'll create a genv environment. And we can see it here. And then he's going to go ahead and attach a GPU. He's going to use GPU 2, the other powerful one. And then he's going to go ahead and he's going to run his code. And now that's done. So if we look here, we notice that Bo's code has finished running. And since it's finished running and we use the gm deactivate command, we notice that her ETL environment is gone. And so is the attached device. Now Django decides that he actually wants to tweak this, and he's going to go ahead and run this, I don't know, for 30 epochs. And he also wants to detach the GPUs once it is done. So he's going to run gm detach afterwards. And once that is done, we should see this disappear, but this should remain. And now let's move on to Satine, who is starting a new project. And so she's going to activate her environment. And create the environment, the genv environment as well. She's just going to name it Satine. Now, because she's doing exploratory analysis, she's going to attach the weaker GPU so that she is not, reserving that for, for basically doing just exploratory analysis. And then she'll go ahead and open up her Jupyter Lab instance. She'll open up her notebook, which allows her to explore this data set. But oh no, it looks like she's actually out of memory because she's using the weaker GPU. That's okay. She's going to use the nrows parameter. And before we go on, this should finish up soon, and we should see TF disappear, which it did. And so that worked successfully for Django. And if we make this 10 million, and looks like she can read it, and we're good. So Satine's going to continue this until she's done. And meanwhile, Django's done, so he can actually just use the exit command. And if he does this, it will actually delete any environments he has and any GPUs that are attached. So now Satine is the only one who is utilizing a G environment and a GPU. So genv is brand new, and we are looking for feedback. So please join our Slack channel to let us know how we can improve genv. And thank you.